aspect of the call process is including as many people of the congregation as you can in completing this profile. The ministry site profile should reflect the ministry of the congregation as a whole. The people entrusted with preparing the site profile and interviewing candidates have their particular impressions of your congregation's ministries, but no small group can know the whole picture. When you engage the whole congregation, you're able to capture a fuller picture of your congregation's life and ministry.
When you're able to include the whole congregation, you're also able to build trust. When people are included, they'll have a greater confidence in the work that smaller groups have been entrusted with, and will know that you care about their experience of the congregation's ministry as well. Several prompts in the ministry profile lend themselves to congregational engagement. For example, ministry site characteristics. Consider inviting the congregation to create a survey organized around these ideas, asking folks to mark where they believe the congregation falls on any of these spectrums. Following the survey period, your committee can gather together to find the most common responses and indicate as such in the ministry site profile.
And there's purpose, giftedness, and mission. For prompts that include the opportunity to write a narrative, gathering the congregation together is an engaging way to generate discussion. Consider inviting folks to a luncheon or dessert to gather at tables for conversation. Cover each table with large pieces of butcher paper or packing paper and provide multiple colored markers. A guide for the room can ask the room to share some conversations about the congregation's purpose, with one or two people serving as the note taker at the table. After a given amount of time, ask half the table to switch tables and ask the second question, naming gifts, and then switch half the table again and ask about the congregation's mission. At the end of the exercise, the congregation and your committee can review the notes and craft a narrative around what was revealed.
Alternatively, you could put large pieces of paper in a public space with the same questions written at the top. Or you could place index cards in the Sunday bulletin, asking a question at the beginning of the service and providing time and space to complete the card, dropping it in an offering plate on the way out.
Another section is ministry tasks and gifts for ministry. A great way to check your committee's curiosities about those tasks and gifts is to include the congregation in discerning the top 5 you would like to list. Narrow the selections in the ministry site profile to roughly 15 items and ask members of the congregation to rank their top 5 or 10. Then aggregate the answers as a committee and review the responses together. Finally, when the ministry site profile is complete, share the narrative content of the document with the congregation, but leave out the personal information that's listed. This will give your whole congregation a sense of ownership and excitement, and it'll contribute to the ongoing trust you share for each other and in Christ Jesus.
Here are some suggestions of more methods or sample questions you could use. There are so many ways you can engage your congregation members. For example, host a conversation session after worship. Invite folks to sit at tables with markers and paper and lead them through questions such as, what excites you about your ministry here at this congregation? What are ministry tasks you'd like your next pastor to focus on? Do you have a mission statement? And if you do, how are you living that mission into your community? How might each person support the next pastor? Or another idea is during a designated time during worship each week, invite folks to fill out an insert that focuses on a particular question and return that answer to the offering plate or a special designated box. This could happen over several weeks even. Or send out a paper mailing inviting folks to offer responses to questions. That same survey could be done digitally and allow folks to answer through email or online. The method that can reflect the style preferences of your congregation, but overall will be a blessing to your preparing the ministry site